the National Survey of Sexual Attitudes and Lifestyles, which the UK government does every 10 years. And in the 2010 version, they asked persons who their sexual partners were today. Then they asked them who their sexual partners were 5 years ago. And by comparing those two, we discovered that the majority of those who 5 years ago said that they had sex with persons of the same sex today don't. They have
Say that.
they only have sex with persons of the opposite sex. So you have most people who do change. Now, not most of these people who change spontaneously in some form or another, but some of them availed themselves of therapy and therapeutic support. There have been about 5 good studies of persons who undergo therapy for sexual orientation. All of those studies have found that most people who undergo that therapy can change somewhat. So if we're talking about sexual orientation, we measure it in terms of 3 dimensions. You may know this. The dimensions are attraction, who you want to have sex with in terms of whether it's male or female. And then there's behavior, who you actually do have sex with in terms of male or female. And then the third is your identification. What do you call yourself? Do you call yourself homosexual, bisexual, heterosexual, or none of the above? Increasingly, young people are choosing none of the above. The most common sexual orientation among persons under the age of 20 in the United States today is a category called mostly heterosexual. And so they're saying, well, I mostly have heterosexual partners, but I'm open to maybe something other than that. So there's a wide range and kind of a mix of the ways that people relate across those categories. So if you take those 3 dimensions, we found that on the NATSL, the 1 dimension of sexual behavior, people were able to change over 5 years. If you look at the minority sexual population, and you ask, well, how many of all of the people who express any one of these 3 dimensions, how many express all 3 of them? And so of persons who say, I'm attracted to persons of the same sex, how many of them actually have sex with persons of the opposite sex instead of the same sex? And then how many actually identify as homosexual? What's really interesting, surprises many people, is that of all the persons who express any one of these 3, the percentage that express all 3 dimensions concordant is about 25%. So 3/4 of people who have sex with persons of the same sex either don't call themselves homosexual or say that they're really not attracted to persons of the same sex.
Wait, hold on. 75% of the people that have sex with the same sex, are that right? Do that again. Say that again.
Okay. I don't have the exact figures for each one of the dimensions.
Ish, though.
Yeah, ish. So it's actually 26% who express all 3 dimensions.
26% of the people who
express any one of the 3 dimensions.
Okay.
So if you take all the people who express any one of these 3 dimensions and add them up, and then you say how many of those expressed all 3 of them. Right. It's only 26%. So 74% of persons. And again, this is in the British population. In the US population, it's actually a little more. I think it's like 77 or 78% who are discordant. And so they only express at most 2 of the 3 dimensions of sexual.
So I might be attracted to people of the same sex and have sex with people of the same sex, but I don't call myself gay. Or I might call myself gay,
right?
But I'm not having sex with people of the opposites of the same sex.
Right. And then, or I have sex with people of the same sex, but I'm not attracted to people of the same sex.
Right. So it's kind of more of like, this is just an action and thing I do, even though I'm not attracted to them.
Well, it means that people are very diverse and maybe creative in their sexuality.